I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Breaking news from the world of K-pop. A shocking statement from Kim Taehyung, also known as V of BTS, has sent fans into a frenzy and rocked the South Korean entertainment industry. Until now, we've only seen BTS from a glamorous perspective, their grand stages, their perfect smiles, and their undeniable success. But is it really all as it seems? This latest revelation could change the way you view BTS forever. Recently, Taehyung decided to do something rare for K-pop idols at the peak of their popularity. Speak candidly about things his agency, HYBE, has kept hidden. This move isn't just a casual statement. It's a confession that opens the door to a darker world behind the scenes of the South Korean entertainment industry. HYBE, long known as one of the largest and most influential agencies in K-pop, has a nearly unrivaled reputation. They've cultivated BTS's flawless image, not only as top musicians, but also as symbols of perfection in the eyes of the global public. However, according to Taehyung, this image is only part of the story. There's a part that's been deliberately hidden, a part rarely, if ever, seen by the public. Taehyung revealed that behind the glitz and glamour of the stage, there's a system so strict that it often limits the BTS members' personal freedom. Major decisions regarding their careers, schedules, and even personal matters often don't stem entirely from their own desires. Instead, they're made for business strategies that benefit the agency. For some, this is commonplace in the entertainment industry. However, for Taehyung, the longer it goes on, the harder it becomes to remain silent. For years, he's followed the rules, accepted the busy schedule, and played his part according to the scripts laid out by the agency. But as time goes on, frustration begins to build. Not only because of the demanding workload, but also because of the feeling of being trapped in a system that puts profit above human well-being. For the fans, ARMY, many have long sensed that something isn't right. Small gestures on stage, a tired look behind a smile, or long pauses in interviews often spark speculation. But now, those speculations are beginning to be answered through Taehyung's statement. He wasn't just speaking for himself. Taehyung also spoke out about the plight of his bandmates. He stated that even though BTS is on top of the world, they're still human with fears, fatigue, and personal dreams that sometimes don't align with the agency's direction. This statement immediately sparked mixed reactions. Some were shocked, some angry, and still others relieved that a BTS member had finally spoken out. Some fans were concerned about the group's future. How would Taehyung's relationship with HYBE fare after this statement? Would this affect BTS's unity? On the other hand, many saw Taehyung's move as the beginning of a major change in the K-pop industry. Many idols have remained silent for fear of losing their careers, contracts, or even popularity. However, Taehyung's courage could serve as an example that artists have the right to be heard, not only on stage but also behind the scenes. This situation also forced HYBE to a crossroads. They could maintain the old system with complete control, or open the door to creative and personal freedom for their artists. Their decision will determine not only BTS's future, but also their reputation in the public eye. Some industry experts believe that Taehyung's actions could spark a silent revolution among other K-pop idols. If BTS, at the peak of global popularity, can speak out for freedom and well-being, it's likely that other artists will follow suit. However, there are significant consequences. BTS's internal relationships could be shaken. Their strength has always been their unity and togetherness. If dissatisfaction continues to grow, the impact could disrupt the harmony they have built over more than a decade. What is clear is that since this statement was released, the K-pop world has not been the same. HYBE must respond wisely to this situation. Meanwhile, the public and fans around the world continue to await further developments. Will this end in reconciliation? Or is it the beginning of a separate path for Taehyung and his agency? One thing is certain, Taehyung has changed the course of K-pop conversation. He showed that behind the smiles and perfect choreography, there's a real human story about freedom, rights, and the courage to go against the grain. And now, all eyes are on BTS, HYBE, and what big steps they'll take next. However, this massive wave was only the beginning. An anonymous insider has begun to reveal more details about what really happened behind closed doors at HYBE. According to him, Taehyung's statement was just the tip of the iceberg of long-simmering dissatisfaction among the BTS members. Several leaked internal documents show that HYBE had set a long-term promotional agenda without fully consulting the members. This included schedules that forced them to work in poor physical condition, as well as restrictions on personal projects deemed incongruent with the group's image. To the public, BTS always appeared united and happy. But behind the scenes, arguments often erupted, especially when the members wanted to express creative ideas that management deemed too risky. And this is where Taehyung began to feel that silence was no longer an option. His move to speak out was not only for his own sake, but also a form of resistance against the old pattern that positions artists as products who are completely controlled. He believes that if change doesn't begin now, the next generation of K-pop artists will face the same, if not greater, pressure. HYBE's reaction to this statement remains a mystery. They have not yet issued an official statement directly addressing Taehyung's remarks. However, their actions are beginning to be noticed by the public, including the postponement of several promotional activities and reports of an emergency meeting between agency officials and BTS's management team. Among ARMY, the division of opinion is increasingly evident. Some fully support Taehyung's courage, seeing it as a bold move to fight for artists' rights. Others worry that this will impact BTS's future as a group, given that their popularity relies heavily on the image they have built over the years. The K-pop industry is now at a crucial juncture. If HYBE chooses to open up and accommodate the voices of its artists, this could be the beginning of a new, more humane era. However, if they choose to maintain complete control, this conflict could continue, even leading to unexpected decisions. And one question is now on everyone's minds. Will Taehyung's move trigger a domino effect in the K-pop industry, prompting other artists to speak out? Or will it actually lead to HYBE tightening its grip even more? News of Taehyung's bravery apparently didn't stop in the public sphere. According to circulating information, several other BTS members are said to have held a closed-door meeting without management in attendance. This meeting reportedly took place at a location deliberately kept secret to avoid media attention. The purpose was clear: to discuss the group's future amidst the increasingly heated situation. Sources close to the members reported that the meeting was emotionally charged. Some openly supported Taehyung's move, while others preferred a cautious approach to avoid direct conflict with HYBE. However, one thing is certain: this issue has opened the eyes of all members to the fact that they are at a crucial point in BTS's future. Meanwhile, HYBE has begun maneuvering. Several senior staff have reportedly received specific instructions to monitor every public statement by the members, including their social media activity. There are even reports that several scheduled solo projects are currently being reviewed, fueling speculation that the agency is trying to suppress the situation. Furthermore, rumors are also circulating that HYBE is preparing an official statement to be released soon. However, according to some industry observers, this move could be a double-edged sword. If they become too defensive, the public could judge HYBE to be hiding something. Conversely, if they become too lenient, it could signal that their control over BTS is weakening. Meanwhile, armies around the world continue to speak out on social media. Hashtags supporting Taehyung are trending globally, competing with those calling for group unity. This debate is not only among fans but also in mainstream media, which is now taking a more serious look at the dark side of the K-pop industry. What initially seemed like just a statement from a BTS member has now escalated into an image crisis for one of South Korea's largest agencies. The question is, will HYBE try to defuse this crisis with compromise, or will they take drastic measures that could change BTS's image forever?